Hey everyone, this is Disc Junkie, and today I'm back to check out Inception. This is the Blu-ray Briefcase edition from the UK. Now the Briefcase edition has been released in several countries all over the world. The US got one, the Germans, there's a French exclusive edition which I've also reviewed. But anyway, this is the UK version. Comes in sort of a plastic box. So here we got a shot of the back cover. Just showing you some of the stuff that's in the box. You know, there are a lot of differences between the different Briefcase editions as far as contents go. There's a lot of similarities, but there's also some key differences. Now, I like the idea of using an exterior box, but on this particular Briefcase, it's a big process of getting the box in and out, because it keeps snagging on all these little, flaps and stuff, because, there's the hinges and the clasp or whatnot, so, taking it out, this is pretty simple, but getting this back in is just awful. You have to, keep moving all the little flaps because they keep snagging onto this and that and this and that. So, yeah, it's a bit of a project doing that, but, yeah, I still think it's a pretty good choice. This is what the box looks like when it's empty. I do like these sort of transparent, plastic with the printing on it. Pretty cool. And so here we have the so-called Briefcase. Now this is very small, as you can tell. The front part here is sort of like a metallic looking plastic, which has the title is sort of indented. It looks pretty good actually. And then we got the sides, which are sort of brushed aluminum, and then you got sort of chromed part here. I really do like the design of it. It's a very sort of stylish, well-made little thing. Now, the big problem with this is, of course, that, well, for one thing, you can notice that it doesn't have a handle, so it doesn't really look like a briefcase. It just looks like a box of some kind. And there's no locks on it, but there is a small clasp here. Now, my biggest issue with this set is that the clasp is on this side, and it should be on this side because the title is printed this way. So if you want to display this, if you want to keep it on the right side, you would have to put it like this, which you can't really do. It can't stand on its own because it has that damn clasp in the middle. So you have to keep it in the box if you want to display it like this. If you don't keep it in the box, you gotta get some kind of stand for it. You could lay it down flat on the table, but I don't know who does that. Personally, I don't really think that's a good way to display something. I really want to put it on its own. You could stand it, let it stand against the wall maybe. I don't know if that might work. So, yeah, not the best idea to put the clasp on that side. It feels a bit, stupid. Anyway, just open this up. We simply fold the little clasp thing here. Works out pretty well. Nice metallic structure. So then we fold it up, and then it actually stops here, which is exactly the same as the French Briefcase edition, even though the briefcases themselves look quite different. They do actually use the exact same hinges. Now, I'm going to check the interior stuff here. You can notice that we actually have this really sort of hard foam padding. I don't know if you would call it padding, but sort of hard foam. It's slightly, you can sort of push it in, but it is very, the material. I don't really have to explain it. So then you get these pretty, quite tightly cut compartments. And when I say quite tightly cut, I do actually mean that, you really sort of have to work a bit to get this out. And I heard a lot of people complaining about this, which I think is, with all due cause, because it is quite a tight fit, and I don't think it really needs to be this tight. So there we go. And I feared, with time, if you're going to take this in and out, you will easily damage, the cardboard slipcase will get sort of very worn just because it's such a tight fit. But well, here we got the Blu-ray, and this is of course the Blu-ray from the UK, and it's got a very nice sort of holographic cover, which I really like. I think this very good choice, which I didn't know this was supposed to be included, so I think that's pretty cool. And there we got the back cover. And I can mention that this is actually a cardboard slipcase. even though the front looks sort of plasticky, it's actually just one of those simple glue-on plastic pieces that sort of, you know, for the holographic 3D, you know, whatever you call it, the effect. Anyway, sliding out the case, just like that. So we get a standard Blu-ray keep case. The front and the back are, you know, pretty much replicated. It's sort of like the same cover, of course, without the effect. So, just open this up, and we get 3 discs. This is the sort of triple play edition, where you have 1 Blu-ray, 2 Blu-rays, and a DVD copy. And there's also a digital download available, so you get your own little code there, so you can activate the digital download. And, you know, there's no real artwork here on the back, just a bit of sort of important notice crap. You know, it's just a Blu-ray keep case, but still, it would always be fun to have some kind of interior design for it. So yeah, not the greatest choice there, but still pretty decent. I do like the slipcover design, so that's something at least. And then we move on to the PASS-IV or passive device instruction manual, which is also, this is very small. It fits in my hand, literally. And I was actually quite surprised. This was sealed in the box, just like this. And when I took it out, I realized that it's actually not a thick book. It's actually just a small, you only got a few pages in here, which, you know, basically describes the whole passive device thingy. And you got some sort of printed creases on here, so it looks a little worn. I kind of like this. It's surprisingly small, much smaller than I thought. And then the other stuff that's in here, it's actually a couple of art cards. As you can tell, there's nothing on the back, they're just white. But I do sort of like the design on these. Okay, which way does this go? Right. So that's all those. Just put that aside. And last but not least, we have the Replica spinner top, which looks like this. Now, I can actually confirm that this is not identical to the French Briefcase spinner. I will make a video sort of comparing all my spinner tops that I have, but you know, it's pretty decent. It's got a brushed finish, whereas the French one has a much more chromed, glossy look to it. I think the French one is definitely the better spinner. This looks a bit cheap, but still indented title on the bottom part here. Not sure how it spins, but we can just check it out. Yeah, it spins quite nice, and I'm not going to do the whole spinner gag because I've done that quite a few times and people seem to get bored with it, so just avoiding that altogether this time. Here we get the interior case. You notice that there's a number here. Now this is not a numbering in terms of the limitation. A lot of people seem to think that, but it's actually a series of numbers that reappear throughout the film. It's sort of like a, you know, hidden message sort of code thing, or just like a fun internal joke. I don't know. You know, just look it up on the internet and I'm sure you'll, you know, realize what that's all about. I don't know. Looking at the interior structure, I don't really think any of these pieces come out. I'm pretty sure they have sort of been cut and glued. I'm not really going to attempt to remove anything. I guess that's about it. Overall, I do sort of like this. It's gone down in price quite a bit, so I think this UK briefcase is by far the cheapest version, and you know, for the price you're paying, I think it's pretty good. It's okay. Obviously not, you know, it doesn't look anything like the briefcase in the movie, nor is it, you know, extremely high quality. It does have its flaws, but for what it's worth, you know, I think it's a decent price, and I think you get what you pay for. I can actually tell you, I notice now that the lid is sort of, it doesn't really close and automatically come down the right way. I don't know if this is just my copy, but it seems to be a little, but maybe that's my own fault. Maybe I need to push in the spinner more. I don't know. A bit so and so. Seems like the hinges are a little messy. Well, that's odd. Why did this become so? Not sure. Did I do something wrong? Why is this not working? Didn't really experience this before. Well, apparently it doesn't really have to be exactly on. You can tell that it is slightly off still, but yeah. Like I said, not super duper quality. Pretty cool, but yeah. Anyway, that's it from me today. Really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you all next time.